Hey guys, this is Salina. Welcome to my backyard again. I know in my last video I mentioned I was going to go straight into showing the installation of my kitchen floors, and I do have a bunch of video that I have to edit down for that. However, I was looking through my camera roll and I found all of this footage from a project that I worked on in my backyard. So I just wanted to show it. Just to preface the video, it was a fail, but I do wind up getting to use most of the items that I bought. I just had to repurpose them, like the pots wind up getting repurposed. So here we go. Okay, so this is the hardware I'm gonna need. These are eye bolts, and these are gonna go into my posts, and then the carabiners are gonna attach to that, and then this is gonna attach to the sunsail. So it'll make sense once I get started. But I did need to get a drill bit big enough for this. I had some, but they were too big or they were too small. So since this is a 3/8 inch, I went ahead and bought a 3/8 bit so that I can screw the hole through my post and then get this eye bolt through there. So, and then last, I have some L brackets that's going to be for the bottom of the post, attaching them to a piece of wood as like a kind of a stabilizer at the bottom of my pot. I'm going to make the holes in the post so I can get my eyelet bolts through there. Okay, so I'm going to measure 6 inches in. And this is where the carabiner is going to hook onto the sunset. So my bright idea with these posts was to put them inside of the pots, weigh them down with about 150 pounds of rock, and then attach the sunsail to the top to cover the pool. So it was great in theory, and actually my dad wound up helping me. So right here you're going to see some footage of me mowing the lawn. I'm just prepping before he comes by to try to help me with this. And he told me, he was like, I think this would be better if you put cement in the ground and cement the posts in the ground. But I knew that was going to be more permanent, and I didn't necessarily want that. I would like to put my house on the market in the next couple of years, and I just didn't want anything permanent. So that's why I wanted to do it this way, and I was being really stubborn. But lesson learned. Honestly, just the fact that I'm moving is great because I work full time from home and I sit at a desk, so it's good for me to just get up and move. And don't you just wish, oh my gosh, I sped this up pretty quick. I wish my short legs could really move that fast. That would be awesome. So here we go. Again, I'm just prepping everything before my dad comes to help me. And I don't have any footage of my dad helping me. He's not big into social media, so I just wanted to respect his privacy. And that's why if I'm missing some clips here and there, it's, again, just I don't want to record him. But here we go. Here are the pots that I spray painted. And then I'm going to bring the posts out. And then I'll show you the rock that I originally put inside of the pot. So this is the aftermath of my failed project. You'll see in the back the idea. My dad started like digging holes in the ground thinking we could like stabilize it more, because what was happening was that we were getting some pretty high winds, and it was a good test because we put all the pots in the ground. We put the posts inside of the pots, put the rocks inside to weigh it down, and set the sun sail up. And when we did that, we got some high winds and it just knocked them over like nothing. So then I had this bright idea. I'm like, well, what if I just put the posts in the ground? I was a hot mess. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. But, shout out to my little pumpkin bucket for helping me move the rock. So this is a thing. I was left with all this rock, but I originally wanted to put rock or pea gravel around the pool. So I just quickly pivoted and I'm like, hey, let me just move all the rock around the pool. I think I had enough to go on two sides, like on one of the long sides and one of the short sides. But I do need to get about 12 more bags of rock to complete it all around. So again, I tried my best, to reuse what I had. And here I had a new weed tool. I mean, things to get excited about, when you're 40, but I have a new weed tool, so I put that to use, and I was just kind of cleaning up a little bit around the pool. At one point when my dad was digging, we found this something in the ground and it looked like a walnut almost, but it wasn't. And so here's another one that's sprouting. And what it is I have these large bushes in my backyard. I honestly don't even know what they are, but they grow super tall, super big, and they reseed themselves everywhere in my lawn. And so that was one that I found that was already like sprouting. So I'm glad I found it and got rid of it, because I would have had one like in the middle of my lawn. Okay, I'm going to show you in a little bit a picture of the pool. Again, just being stubborn, I really wanted the sun sail thing to work. So I actually zip tied the posts to the pool and with the sun sail attached to give you an idea of what I was wanting. But also I learned you really have to put the sun sail at an incline, because if it rains, the water has nowhere to go and it sags in the middle. But here's how the pool winds up looking. It looks nice and clean with the rock around it. I love it so much. And I did reuse the pots and I planted some citronella. While I was in the backyard, I wanted to get a new filter and replace some hoses. they didn't give me enough of these connectors. Oh my god, so I'm just gonna have to deal with the old ones until I can get some more new ones. Also, I was already getting bit by mosquitoes, so I'm gonna try out this citronella bracelet and see if it works. I think I'm gonna keep all of the current like filters inside the pool because they're pretty clean after I power washed them. So I'm not worried about that. I just wanted a new filter and some clean connectors, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to get some additional ones. The plug on the old one, it was broken anyway. The little knob was broken to adjust the settings. So that's another reason why I needed a new one. It looks a lot better. Hopefully it'll function a lot better.